I'm Julian Chow. Behind me are the two Chem students right here, are Justin Peng and Hanson Zhang. We are going today to show you the proper lab rules and procedures following the FCPS safety contract guideline over here. Take note, and maybe as you go along, take out the safety contract so you know where we are and what we are talking about. Practice good lab safety. It's important in your study of chemistry. What is wrong with both of you? No proper lab safety rules. You are not good chem students. Take a seat. We're going to talk about these lab rules that you all should know. Oh, by the way, Rule 1 of chemistry labs, or lab safety, is no horseplay. Hey, what are you doing bringing that food out in the morning?
I didn't eat breakfast this morning.
What are you talking about? No food in the chemistry lab. No eating or drinking allowed in any chemistry lab for any reason whatsoever, unless it's water. Water is allowed, but it must be capped. You don't want to be drinking poisons down your throat, would you? That's what I thought. Put the food away. What are you doing? Hey!
I'm trying to start a fire.
Why are you starting a fire in a chemistry lab? Do you have any logic? Get down. Stop doing that. Get down. Now. Oh, now. See. All right. Clearly, these two students here do not have any common sense in fire safety. Let's go over some fire safety. In the lab, I mean. This is a fire extinguisher. Say ooh and ah.
Fire extinguisher.
Okay, well, very enthusiastic. A fire extinguisher is used to extinguish any fire that is on a lab bench. Now, what if someone's on fire? What do?
Fire extinguisher.
No, you do not use a fire extinguisher when someone's on fire. Instead, you use the fire blanket. Follow me. Up here is a handy-dandy fire blanket. All you just do is you take it out, and you literally wrap the person in a fire blanket, and you're gonna literally make them roll on the ground to get rid of the fire. Also, make sure you call the fire department when a fire happens. But yes.
Go.
Hey, what are you doing now? Hey, what are you? Oh my goodness. Oh, alrighty, clearly. What you have right here is a very common example of chemical spills. If you spill chemicals in the lab, do not panic. There are certain rules that you must follow under the FCPS safety contract. If you do spill a chemical, you must clean it up immediately. No, not with your shirt. With the paper towel, which are generally found in the back of most classrooms. Now that's a good chem student right there, cleaning up after themselves. Ah! Oh my God.
My head! Ah!
All right, calm down. Whenever a chemical spills in the lab, it's just a very serious matter. So, immediately when a chemical spills, you must wash the area that's been affected for 15 to 30 minutes. And then from there, we will investigate if it's serious enough to need medical attention. Yes, describe it like that. All right, class, today we're going to do an acid-based lab. Remember that if you spill acid, you must use sodium bicarbonate. If you spill a base, you must use boric acid for this experiment.
Guys, I got an acid from the next door class. I'm here to show you the experiment.
Oh, goodness. Come on. Let me just explain these instructions.
Oh no, Mr. Chow, there's acid on the ground.
Whenever there's an acid or base spill, you must immediately neutralize it. Please follow or listen to lab teacher's instructions on how to neutralize it. Once you've been told how to neutralize, which in this example, he spilled an acid, so we must use sodium bicarbonate, grab a paper towel or cloth to clean up the incident. Have a teacher or lab supervisor watch and make sure that the procedure is done properly.
I have acid on me.
Oh my goodness. Oh goodness. Jeez. Alrighty. If anyone or any lab situation spills acid or base, you must immediately take off all clothes and head immediately to the safety shower. Come with me, come with me. No nudity here. We'll do that another day. This here is a safety shower. When immediately someone spills acid or base on their clothes, they'll be required to take their clothes off. They will have the privacy of a fire blanket. Like pretend I'm a fire blanket. Anyways, what happens is they'll run the shower for a solid 10 minutes. We cannot turn it on now due to demonstration purposes. But when this happens, make sure they immediately rinse off and proceed to wait for further instructions for this incident. Your chemistry teacher will show you what it will look like when you press this lever. It's very engaging. During your year in chemistry, you will do a variety type of labs. Some labs will require to use a Bunsen burner. This thing will release heat. It's in the name. When in case you turn on a Bunsen burner, or before you turn one on, listen to teacher instructions very carefully, as he or she will run through the rules to use a Bunsen burner and the safety rules along with it. Now, here are some general common sense safety for any labs, but also with labs with a Bunsen burner. You cannot wear any loose-fitting clothing. Something like this is perfectly fine. It's tight, there are no danglings, nothing. The reason why you must have not tight clothing is because loose-fitting clothing will easily get cut by the flames, or chemical could easily spill on it if you lie on your lab bench like this, and that could pose a serious health risk and danger in the lab. Whenever you do a lab, have goggles on at all times. This is important. This is required under FCPS lab safety contract. If you do not have the goggles, you will not be able to do a lab. Now, you may also talk about using a hot plate or a Bunsen burner. When you use these things, excuse me for my violation of lab procedure, these cannot be left unattended if it is on. Hot plates and Bunsen burners. It's a safety risk. Whenever you leave a Bunsen burner, make sure you have someone watching it or you shut it off with the valve. This doesn't do anything. What's going on here? What happened now?
I got chemicals
Oh,
in my
jeez. Alrighty. Now, in any case, when someone gets chemical in their eyes, this is a serious emergency. When chemical gets stuck in the eye and you're arriving at the eye wash station, make sure you flush your eyes thoroughly for 15 minutes. There you go, like that. And then have the teacher make sure on standby to determine what further actions need to be taken. Alright, we're today going to do a lab. Please follow these instructions. It's always important that you follow any instruction your lab teacher gives you, or any teacher in general. One, you're gonna have a flask. You're gonna take the flask, fill it with water, and you're gonna pour it into the beaker, and then just smile. Smile, all right? Now, please do not swirl the flask or do anything else within that experiment. Thank you. You can start your lab.
Mr. Chow, can I start my own experiment?
No. What are you doing? No, you're supposed to do that. No. No. This is a clear violation. No. Please remember that under the FCPS safety contract, no unauthorized experiments are allowed. Do not change any form of procedure or instructions in a lab unless you got teacher approval. You clearly didn't get my approval. Stop what you're doing. You're done with this lab. When it comes to smelling, you're not allowed to smell in a lab. However, what are you doing? No! When in times we need to smell, there's a special technique called a waffering technique, where you take your hand and you blow it out. You go, yeah, like that. Now that's proper lab safety right there. Smelling a chemical can be dangerous because you're not, in some cases, or in most cases, told what is in that flask. Smelling something could be a potential health risk that could put you in the hospital. Some labs, you'll be required to dilute an acid. There's a procedure for that because it's acid. Now, when you dilute an acid, remember AA, add acid, not reverse. So, when you take acid, pour it in the beaker with water. Do not do this. This is bad science. Be good chemistry students. Follow the rules. All right, students, don't forget your lab instructions. I'm going to hand you the regiment. What are you doing? Hey, stop. No, stop. Oh, goodness, no, stop. Drop everything. When you are working in a lab, if you are given a regiment, please do not contaminate it. What do I mean by contaminating? Like this student did, when you pour something in a flask, you cannot pour it back in the regiment if there is something there. This will spark or contain or do contamination, which will hurt the ability for other students to engage in the experiment. What are you doing? Stop! I told you to drop everything! Student, make sure that in case during this lab you break glass, you put any glass scraps in this container right here. Alright, whatever, fine. Start the lab.
Oh no.
And any time in a lab when there's broken glass, you must clean it up immediately. First, you must grab a dustpan and brush. Go find one. You must never ever use your hand when picking up broken glass. It will cut you. It will hurt you. Do not walk over broken glass. It will cut your feet. Please treat your feet with care. Now, once you pick up the broken glass, an instructor will tell you where to take the broken glass. Hello, student. When you do your lab today, you're not allowed to mix regiments until you put it in this beaker. You cannot mix directly between these two flasks. You understand? All right, good. You can start your lab. Oh, hey, stop. What are you doing? What did you do? What did I just tell you? It is important that during labs, you do not mix any regiments together unless you're told so by your instructor. Stop your lab, you're done.
It reacted.
Oh, I told you all of that. In a lab, disposal is always an important step when you're done. Listen to your teacher carefully as he or she will describe how to handle the procedures. In some cases, you can easily wipe it down the sink or pour it down the sink. However, not in all cases. So make sure you pay attention to particular containers, particular areas, or maybe even the teacher. Stop. What are you doing? Clearly, this student did not follow the instructions. He had to pour in that flask, not down the sink. It's important that you follow instructions because when you dispose chemicals, you may never know what could happen to them. And it could damage the underwater pipe in this sink, which would cost the school a lot of money and will hurt your ability to do labs in the future. Be good chem students, folks.